Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 7:30 on Saturday the 24th of October. Just making my way down to the land. Couldn't resist sharing this bizarre sky with you as I drive in this morning. As always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's been another week of rain, and more rain is forecast for later today with some strong winds as well. Sun was trying to peek out on the way here as I was driving in, but it seems to have decided not to bother and go back to bed for a little while. Hoping to get quite a bit of work done today on the cabin. As always, I'm not quite sure what we'll achieve. First things first though, I need to get myself inside, get opened up, get a little fire going, or given the temperature, probably a big fire going, and then we'll see what we can get done today. Well, as usual, first things first, I've just opened up the polytunnel. I've took the water tanks out to fill up in the cabin while I'm doing this video, so apologies if it's a quick sprint round. Jerusalem artichokes went, as you know, and we had a little cooking video with those. The mixed bed pumpkin and squash, pretty much as it was before. We've still got a couple, and it is literally a couple of different pumpkins, and that one, I think it's a squash over the other side. I'm looking a bit vague now because I was fairly sure there was another one in here somewhere. Don't quite know where that's gone. Anyway, whatever. I don't want those water tanks overflowing in the cabin while I'm doing this. Potatoes, really pleased with these. Definitely be a harvest video for those a little bit later on in the year. The other tubs or barrels with the cauliflowers in, not sure we're going to see anything with those. They're not looking to put any growth on at all, unless of course it's just me. Unlike the carrots, which have done really well this year, as have those onions. The middle bed with the cauliflowers looking a bit bigger and better, despite being chewed to death by whatever it was, those butterflies. Similarly, that garlic doing well as also. Beetroot over there, I keep meaning to take that out. Just, I don't know, there's so many things I'm doing, I just keep forgetting. But I'm going to have to at some point get them out. Pumpkin bed, still got the same, and that's fresh chewing there by the rabbits. Don't think they've managed to get that one. No, that's looking nice actually, that one. Those new ones in there, coming along quite well now, so you never know, they might reach maturity. And similarly, buried in amongst here, we've got a well chewed one there. There's another one not looking too bad down there, and there's a little bit bigger one over here which is also not looking too bad. Squash bed, that original one squash, that can't be far off now. I keep digging my nail in, but it's still soft. I don't know, I was convinced there was another one here somewhere. I don't know whether it's me, or maybe I'm having a senior moment. Oh, it's there, look. There it is. A little baby one coming out there. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how those progress. I'll just quickly run and check on that water canister before I do the polytunnel. Lots and lots of mushrooms around the field. I'll maybe do a little quick walk around with you before I get started, because these mushrooms, they are everywhere. Anyway, I digress. Let me just quickly check that water. In fact, I'll swap over. It's not full yet, but I don't want to take the chance of it overflowing, so I'll pop it in there and we'll get back to the polytunnel. There's not a great deal in here now, to be fair. That fig leaves are changing colour quite dramatically now, so I think that's going to go to sleep for winter. As is this blueberry bush and the strawberry plants. They're all changing colour now, which is unsurprising really. I did leave that pea to see what would happen. I think that's just about done. Real dramatic change in colour on this blueberry. Definitely got its winter coat on. Not sure about this cranberry, what it does this time of year. I guess it's a wait and see whether it continues through the winter or not. These little elderberry trees that I took cuttings and planted, you can see they're doing really well now. That one's got an awful lot of growth on. That one's still got the original... Look, apologies, that's the pump kicking in. The watering pump's just started. Yeah, that one, a little bit of growth on there. And what really did surprise me, I thought this one was dead and not going to do anything, but if you can see there, it's actually got a little bud coming. So 3 out of 3. How nice is that? And that's something I'll definitely be exploring as we go through next year. Try and get a load of trees cultivated from cuttings of different kinds. Tomato forest, lots of little green tomatoes. I'm not sure whether those will or won't turn red now. I think it's a little bit too late in the season. I'll probably thin most of this out over this weekend and just leave a couple in to see if they do actually mature into ripe fruit or not, but I'm not holding my breath. So that's it for the polytunnel. I'll just kill those 2 containers of water, and then I'll probably light a fire while I'm waiting for those. Then we'll have a quick run around the field. There's a couple of bits and pieces that I just wanted to quickly chat about as I walk around there. And then we'll get a bit of cabin build done before this rain comes, which it definitely is. You can see in the sky it is, and the forecast is for quite heavy rain and big winds later, so we'll try and get ahead of the weather a bit and get something done this morning while it's still relatively dry. Well, that's those water tanks filled up. I'll pop those in the polytunnel in a minute. I just wanted to have a quick walk around. It's always nice just to have a little wander around the boundary of the field. As I was saying, lots and lots of different kinds of mushrooms scattered around the field. I have got a book coming on mushrooms. You can see they're everywhere. Something's been eating away at these, and I can't say I blame them, because that's what I want to do. I want to find out which ones I can and can't eat, and just, it's another food source from the field. There's lots and lots of different things, varieties of different berries that some of which I already know you can use, like the rosehip and the elderberry, but others I've yet to properly educate myself on. You can tell that winter's definitely here by all these leaves that are falling around from the trees. I'd rather not leave these on the grass. I did last year, but I didn't really have much of a choice last year. This year I do. I've got the little red tractor, so the plan is to scoot around quickly and try and gather these up, and then they can get mixed into the composting bins. Rather than just having only grass, I can have a mixture of green and brown, which is what you should have in the compost. yet more mushrooms. It's quite surprising all the different kinds that there are, and I'm pretty convinced that many of these will be edible. I just don't know which ones right now, so I'm going to have to educate myself. Quite a sizable patch of leaves here to tidy up. It's not going to be a 5-minute job, that's for sure, but it is worth doing rather than just letting it all sit here and rot on the grass and also keep the sunlight off the grass. I'd rather just collect them up and put them to good use. We'll quickly run across the other side and see what's happening over there. But really, quite literally everywhere I go, and I didn't see this last year, we have got all these mushrooms. They are everywhere. Lots and lots and lots of them. You can see them there as well. I'm guessing that's because I've cut the grass quite a lot this year, and they're actually getting a decent bit of sunlight, which they wouldn't have done last year. I'm walking past loads of them. I'm just not stopping to show you everyone. I'm kind of focusing on the bigger patches. Lots more here around this little birch tree. A friend of mine, Covid Hunter, put me onto a little wild food channel on YouTube, and that guy is an expert in mushrooms, and he was saying that generally if you look for birch trees you will find the edible variety, or more of the edible variety. So I'm hoping that that is true, because as you can see there are lots around that birch tree, and similarly all these other trees. Quite literally, I'm running out of video here because there are that many. There's way too many for me to continue videoing. But yeah, you can see they are all different kinds and colours and shapes, but literally everywhere. Am I going on a bit too much about mushrooms? I mean, some of these are quite large. There's my hand. You know, they're not small mushrooms. And as I say, there are lots and lots of them, of different kinds. I don't know what they are. They can't be edible given the colour of them, but you never know. They are literally everywhere. I could just spend the next several hours wandering around showing you all these patches of mushrooms. This is like a little mushroom forest going on in here. They are literally everywhere. Everywhere I stand, there's more and more mushrooms. Look at the colour of that one. How nice is that? Anyway, as far as the eye can see, all the way down this boundary, it's just mushroom after mushroom. That's a bit of a bizarre shape. And on it goes. Look at that. Proper forest. And these are, again, quite sizable ones. If I put my hand down next to these, you can see. So, yeah, just thought I'd share that with you as I continue to walk back towards the cabin. Again, it's like a little mushroom field. Now, I don't know, you tell me. There's got to be food in amongst this lot somewhere. I don't believe that they're all going to be poisonous. There's got to be some of them that's edible. Anyway, I digress. I need to get back and get that fire going and get some real work done. But I thought I'd share that with you. They are everywhere, and it is actually quite magical walking amongst so many. But hopefully, as I expand my education and learn what I can eat, there'll be plenty of good eating in amongst that lot. Okay, so what's the plan today? Well, you'll have seen me last week. I just put in this first set of foundation blocks. So I've got my weed control membrane sheets have come through, so I'll be laying out that to cover all of this grass area where the garden room's going to go. And the thing I really have to finish today is this foundation. So this left side, as we look at it, I'll just need to dig that out slightly and make sure that that's level, both running from sort of left to right, but also from front to back, and just end up with my little square of block foundation ready for the frame to go on. So fingers crossed, it's not a 2-minute job, as you might have seen last week when I did this first end. The field is not level. It might look nice and flat, but it goes in all directions. So that's what we'll be busy with this morning. See how long it takes to get that done. It's certainly measuring up for framing, but hopefully we'll make some decent progress today. Well, first things first, because nothing's ever easy, is it? I need to get rid of all these blocks and bags of gravel out the way, so this working area is clear to get the weed membrane down. Once, of course, I've dug out this left-hand side set of block foundation. So yeah, before the digging can begin, lots of moving of heavy stuff, unfortunately. Well, that's the first block in on this left side. Just getting the level across the back of the cabin. You can see that or not, but it is. Now I just need to dig out the trench running along. You can see where the blocks have been laid, and get that level, which with all these little lumps and bumps over these anthills is not going to be easy. Fire looks like it's well alight now. Hopefully by the time I finish laying this piece of foundation, I'll have a decent fire. It'll be nice and warm in the cabin and I can get a cup of coffee down me, but we've a way to go yet before we get to that stage. Well, it's just slow progress, because not only do I have to make sure that everything's level left to right and front to rear, I need to just double check as I go to make sure that we've got the same width, 340, as I continue laying this layer of blocks. wouldn't want to get to the end and find that it's wider than it was at the start. So time consuming, fiddly, but it is nice to see progress, even if it is at this point quite slow progress. Well, I guess it was only a matter of time before the emergency kit was needed. A little bit of an accident, but I'll get myself bandaged up and we'll be back on again. Well, that was a bit sore. Top tip, make sure you've got your first aid kit with you if you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's good to have one in the car. There is one in the cabin, but to be honest, I was dripping blood everywhere and I didn't want to start raving around the cupboards, so it was easier just to go to the car. Might slow me down a little bit, but despite the setbacks, we're still making progress. Well, it is slow progress, I have to say, but it is progress. We're not far off having both sides. Trying to make sure it's lined up properly with the cabin is a feat in itself, but we're about there. So I've got the there's a little robin on the wheelbarrow. Can you see that? Don't know if I can zoom in. As soon as I do, he runs away. That's because I'm trying to zoom with my dodgy finger. Anyway, yes, we're pretty much there. Just got to run across now and make sure it's level left to right all the way down. But yep, a little bit of progress. Dying for a coffee, I really am. I've not had one yet. I just wanted to keep cracking on before this rain comes. So I don't think it'll be too long before I'm stopping. But onward and upward, let's keep going and make a bit more progress. Well, we are slowly making progress. The weed membrane's down, and oh, bit of campfire smoke there. And this block trench is down on this side, and hopefully that's nicely firmed in with that gravel now. So this other side to do. The hours are just flying by and I still haven't had a cup of coffee. I might just be tempted to stop now, have my coffee and then pick up on this left hand side later, because I am just about worn out. I do need to sit down for a bit, I think. Well, it's 11 o'clock already. Actually, it's gone 11 o'clock. And this is my first cup of coffee of the day. I can't believe it. It's a bit hot. Time just passes by so quickly. I think I've said it in a million videos. Everything takes longer than you think it's going to take. It is cool today and I'm a little bit damaged. But that is doing that, throbbing. But that will teach me to mind my fingers. So today, what are we doing? We're busy doing the garden room extension, foundations of that. I'm just hoping this rain keeps off. It did say 12 o'clock onwards and we're past 11 already, and I'm looking outside and the sky is so grey. Hope you enjoyed that little wander around the field this morning. I popped in on Tuesday and Thursday on the way home from work, just to top the water tanks up in the polytunnel, and I couldn't believe the amount of mushrooms around the field. There were millions, and there still are millions of them. So if anybody does recognise any of those mushrooms, do drop me a little note in the comment section, because I am very keen to explore, now that I can see how many the field is producing, just to see which ones are edible, because it would be a shame to waste all of those. If I'm sniffing in voice sounds a little bit hoarse this week, it is. I've had, it's not COVID, I've had a bit of cold flu, man flu, the worst kind of flu, this week. It's that time of year now, weather's changing. Kids go to school and take it home to the parents, who then share it with everybody at work. So there's quite a few people at work who are coughing and spluttering. Actually, that's not true, they're not coughing, because if they were, everybody would be in a blind panic. They're sneezing and runny noses and a little bit of a sore throat. In terms of update on where we are with like COVID, if you've been watching the news, people in the UK will know for sure that more than half the country now is in what they call Tier 3, which is a full lockdown. Don't go out unless you need to. No mixing with anybody outside your family group, so on and so on and so on. And it looks like lots of other bits of the country are going to go into the same as we go through this coming week. Scotland is already fully locked down. Wales now is also fully locked down. Ireland, Northern Ireland? I think they are, yeah. So there's only kind of little patches of England hanging in there trying to avoid the going back into the full lockdown. It's just crazy. We're making this economic situation even worse. It's bad enough now. In fact, it's more than bad. It's terrible right now. So many people out of work. So many businesses closed for good. And we're just exacerbating that as we head towards winter. I think the idea is that if we do it now, there's a glimmer of hope that people might be able to enjoy a normal Christmas and mix with family, but I'm not buying it. And if we do end up doing that, watch out for the third spike in January. It's I do try to avoid this topic really, but we just need to get on with it, and just let everybody get it and get over it. Cousins in the US, things getting a bit tense there as you head towards your election. I do feel for you actually, because it is crazy. It's crazy over nothing. It's all about a power play for the more rich and elite in society, shall we say, and they don't really give a stuff about anybody else. So it is a crying shame to see all of this chaos. But again, I'll try and steer clear of the politics, much as I am tempted to dive in there. In terms of the rest of the day, it is business as usual with this extension for the garden room. It is very slow progress, but hopefully as I do the little video clips you can see it gradually taking shape. The foundation bit really is the key. If that's not straight and level and solid, then the rest of the cabin won't be. So I do need to take my time with it and make sure that it is right, because once the framing starts to go up, there is no going back. Still experimenting really with thoughts on the framing. It will be pretty much like this cabin, 3x2 framed construction with the plastic sheets that are used for the roof to form the roof and sides. But there will be quite a bit of infilling with feather edge boards, strips along the bottom, a bit of framing out for a door, and then some strips along the top as it meets the roof line. So before my voice goes completely, I'll get this coffee down me. Just have 5 or 10 minutes, chillax. I can already feel the wind picking up, coming through the cabin door. So I don't think that rain is very far away. So I really do need to get cracking with this. But I'll keep you updated as I go through. And hopefully by the end of the day, you'll see the the finished foundation. Fingers crossed. Well, slowly but surely it's taking shape. it is a bit fiddly, and as I said in the cabin earlier, it is taking a long time, but it don't get much more level than that, does it? That's not bad, to be fair, considering what it is I'm working with. Yeah, happy with that. Just need this the back wall foundation putting across, and we'll be good to go, sort of. Well, to be honest, I just have to show you this because I wasn't expecting it, but it's also level across the back. How good is that? I think that's more luck than good management, to be fair, but it is where it is. It's level, so that's what counts. Well, that's the back wall in, so we're again just about spot on, so I can't really complain. It's in. Just need to fill around with a bit of gravel now, and the foundation's pretty much done. Well, it's 1 o'clock already, and I am just about worn out, but the good news is the block foundation is in and gravelled round, so hopefully I'll not have issues with grass growing through like I have on the cabin there. Everything seems to be level, which is good. So not a bad job done really today. It's looking okay. Absolutely worn out like, but it's looking okay. So a bit of tidying up to be done. I can feel the rain spitting. It's not started properly yet, but it's about here, so just finished that in time. Well, thankfully that's everything tidied away, and only just in time because the heavens have just opened. So I'm just going to get myself round to the polytunnel and get that closed up, and then I'll get the cabin closed up as well. It's I don't know if you can hear that or not. It's even though we knew it was coming, it's always a disappointment when it does come, because there is still loads of stuff I wanted to try and get done today, but the main thing's out the way, which is the foundation. So the tomato jungle is going to have to wait until another day, as are the leaves out there, but you know, you can only do so much in a day, and this day is just about done, so I'm going to get tidied up, and that will be about it for another day. Well, that's everything locked up. Don't know if you can see or not, but it's absolutely throwing it down. So it is lucky I managed to get that done, but not so lucky that I'm now absolutely soaking wet. But not to worry, soon be home.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How about those mushrooms? Any idea if they're edible or not? And how's the cabin coming along with the new garden room extension? It's been a long tiring day today, but at least the foundation's in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.